Hello everyone and welcome, it's Eclectic Kelpie, and this is Adult Color Glasses, the show where I rewatch media from my childhood satirically and sincerely, and today we are going to be watching The Emperor's New School. I actually forgot this one existed until very, very recently, with all the, Emperor's New Groove stuff happening with Disney, like Yzma's coming to the Oogie Boogie Bash, and there's been a lot more merch, and then it just came back into my radar, and I was like, oh my gosh, they made quite a few of these where they did Hercules the animated series, they did Aladdin the animated series, they did Little Mermaid, they did The Emperor's New Groove. Anyways, they did quite a few of these little series based on the full length movies that they made, and I think that that's super super fun because I don't know, I feel like collectively, we all experience the being in a fictional world and then being like, oh, I want more from that world, just to see the characters in different contexts and experience the different layers of the world, specifically fantasy worlds. So going into this world, this extended world within this particular piece of media is always really fun. So that's why I've been super enjoying these little Disney ones, because it's just it's super fun. And yeah, I love Disney. I've been really reinvigorated with Disney recently, so I'm excited to watch this one. I don't remember anything really about it other than just it's Kuzco goes to school. I also can't even remember where in the timeline it is, because I'm pretty sure he's going to high school. He's not going to college, but he's still with Pacha is in it, I think. But then also Yzma is in it. So I don't know where in the canon they have this. Is it after? Is it a sequel mini-series? It's a sequel series? I think it must be. We'll see. As always, we go in blind. But I remember it being fun, and it'll be interesting to revisit. So without further ado, let's dive into The Emperor's New School, Episode 1, Rabbit Face. It's giving pep rally music. It's actually quite hysterical. It's giving little pep rally music, even the drum intro this is so silly. It's so campy also. It definitely is this opening sequence is definitely giving the energy of Kuzco without it being the really captivating intro sequence of the movie. But this is really fun. How absurd. Oh my goodness. Yeah, wow. What an intro. It's very fun. I can't say that I think it's in the top tier of intro sequences, but it's definitely doing the setup, what an intro sequence is supposed to be, is the setup, the vibe of what we should be expecting, any background information that's necessary for the show. Yeah. Wow. Oh. How old are they supposed to be? There's no way that Kronk is going to high school. I feel like they actually do say his age in the original one, don't they? In the original movie? I feel like they say Kronk's age. He's in his 20s. Am I crazy? I'll have to fact check that. Post-production Kelpie will fact check that. However, certainly they're not in the same... This has to... Is it college? It's called Kuzco Academy. It has to be college, right? He's going to Emperor College. He's got... This is a wild premise. This is extreme negligence on his tutors, on his parents, on his whole upbringing and education system, that he has to go now post things if this is after the series, which I feel like it must be. We'll find out, but this is already pretty unhinged. But what could you expect from the Emperor's New School? Like, what could you expect from Cusco? It's gonna be unhinged, but it's also gonna be very hilarious. Okay. I feel like this has gotta be, like, a B- tier theme song. It's very silly. It's not really my style, I feel. I fear that it's not my energy, my vibe. But it's not bad. I think that in terms of, like, the theme song in general, it does what a theme song is supposed to do. It introduces the characters, the vibe, the energy of the show, and it also, like, explains what's happening. Yeah. So it's, like, it's good in terms of function, but it's not my style. Yeah, I don't particularly find it enjoyable, but it's not bad. It's just not my vibe. Okay. This has to be after The Emperor's New Groove. It has to be after. Because here's the llama potion. And here's also a llama and maybe Yzma or I can't quite see. But there's a llama fountain, but the llama potion, like, unless it's just very meta in that regard, where the animators just included the imagery because we, the viewers, know the movie. But this has to be college. There's no way that they're in high school, but it's gonna be high school. Something's messy with the canon on this one, I think. Oh, the sad bunny. Oh, this... You know what? You could fill up a lot of episodes, and I fear that they did fill up a lot of episodes with him just getting turned into weird creatures or, like, easily destroyed creatures. Nefarious schemes that Yzma has concocted, but that's so cute. Aw. It's giving, like, this feels the intro, like, this intro feels like a very comparable sort of, like, setup to the movie, and I feel that that was intentional again as, like, this is what we're basing it on. Like, this is the energy we're bringing, this is the idea, it's the same show, or it's the same, like, characters and stuff, so it's similar energy. But yeah, I think that was smart on their part, is, like, setting up the show in the same way that they set up the movie to kind of meld the two together a little bit nicely. Oh, that's interesting. He has to go through school to stay emperor. Wouldn't that be a crazy system? Wouldn't that be actually quite an efficient system? If you had, like, a monarch who grew up and, like, yes, they were going to be the monarch, but they had to go to training and pass school, like, pass a schooling program that ensured their competence and capability as ruler of a nation. Okay, but she's so iconic. She's so iconic. I know, like, I don't know. I love the sort of, like, meta villains where, I don't, like, it's just, she's just fun. She's just chaotic and fun. And I really enjoy her. So I'm glad that she's here. It's a very interesting stylized animation. It's sort of reminiscent in terms of, like, the angles, but the texturing, I don't know animation, like, terminology, that's the best way that I think that I could articulate it. This is, the texturing is very different. It feels almost, like, softer, and the movie animation feels a lot more like harsher angles, and so she kind of looks a little bit more, for lack of a better phrasing, like, she looks more cartoony, rather than, like, in the movie, her animation looked a lot more, like, sharp and menacing. Whereas this is a lot more, like, softer, friendlier style. So I think that's really interesting. And obviously, like, again, we've said many times that the animation budget is very, very different in terms of movies versus television shows. So it's going to be different. I don't think I mind it, but I'm not, like, this isn't giving Emperor's New Groove animation style, but it's not bad. It's just, it's different. It's giving like chibi. You know, when they oh, this will be a throwback, like the Ruby chibi. It's giving like, oh, here's the like the correct animation, and then here's the like softer, like smaller little guys. She's giving like a softer, smaller little guy kind of vibe. Yeah, okay, well, what a place to pause. But yeah, this is super super weird on the timeline. Like, he must be in high school, but then like, how is Pacha in the show, but he hasn't met Pacha yet until, or like he doesn't know Pacha until the movie. So like, it's a weird, I don't know. I think we just gotta roll with it. I think that they didn't think too deeply about it, and so I think that we can't think too deeply about it in terms of like stepping outside of a like sensible timeline. So we'll just run with it. She's still the Emperor's advisor at this time, because she's saying that if he fails school, then she gets to be Empress, which is what happened in like the movie. Is if he was gone, then she was next in line. But then he would know that she's trying to take his throne way before the movie. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. Oh my god, he's giving London Tipton. He literally did the yay me. Oh my gosh. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was also a very iconic, amazing Disney Channel show. But yeah, it's like if London Tipton had her own show, but she was an animated Incan emperor. And that's quite fun. There's no way that they're the same age. Kuzco and Kronk do not look like they're the same age. Kuzco looks like he could be drawn as like 16. Kronk is like 25 minimum. What the hell is this? Unless they're claiming that Kronk was like really dumb and had to repeat the like 12th grade many times. Which, who could say? But very questionable. I don't know about that. One has to wonder who's actually running the state at this time, because Cusco's clearly not running the state at this time while he's in school. Yzma, who's supposed to be the like emperor's assistant or advisor, whatever her title is, she's supposed to be like second in command essentially, right? But she's pretending to be the principal of the school, so she's also absentee the throne. Who is running the country? Who's running this empire? Where are all the world leaders just while he's in his presumably 4 years of school? What are they doing? Why is she not just... I feel he doesn't need help failing. Obviously, there would be no show if this is not the setup that they had constructed, right? Like, we have to move that away. But she's doing more than she needs to. She's putting in more effort than is required. I'm sure that he could fail all by himself. But she could, at this time, be smart and start cultivating more support within the structure of whatever government they have. So either like parliament or however they have their like governing body, the Senate, if you will. Like, she could be cultivating a lot of really good political relationships that support her claim to the throne, and she could be doing a really good job while Kuzco is at school and not doing a good job and purposefully like ignoring his responsibilities. She could usurp the throne. She could be the usurper of the throne if she just was smart and a little bit more intentional and direct with her goals, because I feel like she's kind of doing it the hard way and the ineffective way. She's decided that she's going to like impose things on Kuzco that end up helping him rather than just doing a better job of actually ruling. And then that would bolster her claim and her support. So, this seems counterproductive. Because Kuzco's also already hated, like, as the emperor. Because he's an asshole to everyone. He's super mean to his subjects. He's not worried about if they go hungry. He's not worried of if they're homed. He's not concerned about anything other than just himself, his image, his pleasures, having the status of an attractive girlfriend. He's just not pressed in terms of like actually being the emperor for a purpose. He's, you know, being a stupid man and being like, oh, this is like a status thing for me. So if she wanted to actually maintain power, then she could do a good job and then also have him just fail of his own merit, because that's sort of like, he's not one to really put in effort. So I fear Yzma has caused her own demise with her poor choices and poor planning. This is a kind of fun fourth wall breaking connection to the original movie as well. I think this is kind of like a good tie-in. Again, it's very... This whole thing also feels a little bit satirical in the sense of like, he's being the narrator of his own life while also showing us his own life in present time while the fourth wall is past tense breaking. And it's kind of like, I like the setup of him being this imposing narrator. Like, he's kind of not imposing in terms of a intimidation kind of way, but imposing in terms of like a, like, I'm interrupting, we're bringing it back to me. It's all very like in character. It just feels very like correct for him to be behaving in this way. So it makes sense. I like it. But it also kind of like is messing a bit with pacing, because it's happening frequently. But I don't know if that is consistent throughout the rest of the series, or if it's just because episode 1 they're trying to establish a number of things, being like, oh, here's like Melina, the love interest character, here's Yzma is Amzi and Yzma, you know, because children maybe won't get it, even though it's I feel like they would. But either way, it's establishing a lot at once. I also don't really understand with like the timeline how they've constructed this, because like Kronk was her intern, right? Kronk was like her intern assistant kind of a situation. So he didn't realize that Yzma was Principal Amzi. So then clearly they didn't pre-plan this. So he's just at school, but he already knows her. So if he's just already enrolled in school and he's just going to classes, I don't understand the structure and the construct of the setup of this story and plot. And I feel like maybe it's not supposed to matter. It's not supposed to matter. I'm obviously being picky. That's part of what we're doing here. But it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't check out. I don't think she really needed to tell him to make Cusco lose the race, as long as he did a good job and she didn't interfere, because like, she is gonna interfere and he's gonna win, obviously, because that's just how the episodes go. But like, he's already super athletic and he'll be fine. So like, again, sometimes you have to let people succumb to their own fate rather than trying to manipulate the behind the scenes and then accidentally helping them overcome their adversity, if your intention is villainy. But yeah, that's super interesting. That's a really interesting concept, actually. Somebody who's trying to like, that would be a cool story idea. I'm sure that there's some sort of book or piece of media out there about that, where it's like somebody who's trying to alter the trajectory of somebody's fate, but by doing so they are fulfilling that person's fate. That just feels like a timeline loop situation. It's getting very meta. Anyways, yeah, she just gotta let it happen. Aw, these guys are fun. Oh, you know what? I like that they have some of these like background characters. I hope they have the old man who threw off his groove. But like, it's just fun. I guess it's kind of just like, you just enjoy, again, like being in the world that was crafted in a different context, in different settings, a little bit. But it's still within this world, it's still within this, like, experience of this story. So it's very cute, and I like it. I like that the side characters are there. So he lives with Pacha. How does he live with Pacha? Why doesn't he live in the castle still? Did they, like, actually just kick him out? Is it like, oh, you are now on probation, emperor probation? Who decided that? Literally, what is the Senate? Is he not just, like, the monarch? It's like a dictatorship. Like, he's the guy. He's the one guy. It's a monarchy. So if he's the one guy, who is telling him he has to go to school? Unless there is, like, a council or something set up to decree that he has to go to school. But then still, why wouldn't he be allowed to live in his own home? Like, why couldn't he just live in the palace while also going and doing the transportation for school? Why does he have to live with Pacha? I mean, that's fine, he can live with Pacha, but is it like an imposed thing? Is it a convenience thing? Is it like... But then why wouldn't Pacha just, like, move into the castle? It's all very odd choices. I would stay in my castle and be like, you know, unless it's something also where they decreed that, like, oh, because you, to be a good governor, you have to live among the peasants to be able to know what their plights are. I don't know. But anyways, I would stay in my castle. Somebody send me a castle. It's kind of silly. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of silly. Also, Cheetah's not pregnant anymore. So I feel that must mean that this is a sequel series. So maybe what happened was the Emperor's New Groove happened. Maybe the second one also happened. Oh yeah, because Yzma does, in the second one, turn back into a person. So they have to be in college. There's no way. It has to be university. Okay, so we're gonna establish that. He's in college. Kronk just decided to go, and everybody's chill with Kronk because obviously everybody's chill with Kronk. Kronk is chill. And then Yzma is now... But here's the problem with that again. She's not in line anymore for the throne. So what she will have to do is take it. Even if Kuzco was not allowed to be the emperor anymore, she already exerted her villainy, so she wouldn't be eligible any longer for taking the throne legally in terms of succession, right? One would think that a criminal record would in fact negate somebody's ability to govern a nation. You would think. So one would assume. So perhaps she could just go and overthrow the system. He's already not... Is he still even the emperor if he's, like, being challenged with university to be an emperor? And, like, he's not even learning emperor things. He's not learning how to govern properly. He's just learning the history and math, and gym for some reason matters in terms of his ability to be a leader. I don't know. Flimsy plot, but I'll accept that this is canonical after the movies and it's just a weird setup, but fine. It can make sense if you give some liberties. I fear that they're trying to be funny, and I think they are a little bit funny, but, like, in the absurd kind of way. Like, this all feels very absurd and silly, which can sometimes be really fun and enjoyable, but it feels very absurd and silly. So it's kind of a whole thing. It's not bad, it's just kind of silly. And I feel like it was probably really enjoyable. I don't really remember I watched it, but I don't remember it being like, ooh, this is one of my favorite shows. but it's kind of like the humor is very specific. So if this is your kind of humor, I think it would be very enjoyable, but it's very specific. So some of it is getting me a little bit. Okay, okay, maybe some of it is a little bit funny in its absurdity, because he walked upstairs. He's like, I'm fine. I can do this gym class thing. Like, it's totally fine. It'll be fine. I'm gonna go to bed. And then now he's like crying upstairs, and he's like, what am I gonna do? And it's like, it's the reactions. I feel like that's quite, that's a good way to tell the audience how we're supposed to feel, is they're kind of like, oh, okay, but then it makes it funny. They're concerned, but also it's very silly. So yeah, that little thing got me a little, I had a chuckle. I genuinely don't understand though why he's taking like high school classes. Like, what does gym have to do with governing a population or being a good leader? Like, for the longevity of your health, sure, yeah, go and take care of yourself. But like, in terms of the skills and knowledge that you would need to be able to like support your people in their like living and dwelling and thriving, I don't know. It feels like, for what purpose? And it's such a contrived, flimsy plot. Like, how can you like depose the emperor and be like, your reign is conditional on passing gym class? What the f***? It's so silly. It's so silly and such a weird choice to be like, you can't be the ruler that you are by birth and by right of like your bloodline unless you can run in a race and beat this like bodybuilder. What the hell is this? Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I have to give it points because it is giving me a chuckle. That's yucky. I don't like that. That's yucky and shouldn't be a motivator, to be honest. A choice. I mean, you know what? It's very indicative of his character. It's very indicative of his priorities. If we want to make this scene or shot poignant, then it can be a window into who he is as a person, because he is very shallow, self-oriented, you know. So, but yeah, that's gross. Don't encourage this kind of behavior. Aw, that's cute. They did the little like Rocky montage a little bit. That's a cute reference. I like it. He like ran up the stairs and did the like, you know, that's cute. I appreciate the Rocky reference. That's funny. That's funny that I like that callback. She had a little Cusco like bust on her desk. I don't know why she would keep such a thing on her desk, but for this exact purpose, I suppose, is to be able to smash it. There you go. What a beautiful cathartic thing, though. Not actually advocating for like smashing the heads of your enemies, but like for the context of this show, what a fun little morning activity. You start your day by like literally crushing the heads of your enemies. I like it. Good job, Yzma. Iconic. Oh, they do different things each time, I feel, which is a whole other level of dedication and crazy, is pulling a lever that leads to different disasters every time. Why are you changing the lever? That must take a whole team to be able to shift the mechanism, to be able to like bring that destination like different, like wiring and whatever, I don't know, but like to shift the wiring to like bring her to different places, or like shift the construction of the underground. Either that, or she just puts different things in the basement. But you'd think, after a while, you'd learn which lever to pull, unless she is genuinely changing the, like, electrical wiring to link to different parts of this underground secret laboratory stuff that she has going on. Because if she's linking to different places, you gotta label these kinds of things. You gotta pre-plan. You gotta not change the structures of where your secret levers are leading, because then you are gonna continue to get bit in the ass by a crocodile. So, questionable choices. But this is very fun. I like that they did this. Why would that ever be a choice? Why would that ever be something that you would do? Because presumably it's a secret lab, like a secret bookshelf, right? Like, you would be the only person who would be pulling the book to, like, open the door to the secret door behind the bookcase, right? Presumably you'd be the only one doing it, unless this is supposed to be like a fail-safe that, like, if somebody was but then it would be a 50-50 shot because there's only 2 levers. So you gotta get a label maker. You gotta put a little sticky on your levers. Or just don't make the other one do anything and just only have the one be a lever and the other can just maintain concrete status. Like, it can just be a concrete fang coming out of the statue. Because why would you even risk getting flattened by a rock fist? Questionable. Maybe she's not fit to rule either. Maybe they need to go into, like, a democratic kind of a deal where it's, I don't know, like a committee is governing their world. They need to diversify the intelligence pool that they have going on there. I don't know. They definitely need somebody that is not Yzma nor Cusco. And probably also not Kronk. Maybe Pacha. Pacha and Chicha collaboratively running this kingdom would be perfect. Put them in power. I think Pacha would be a great ruler. Pacha 2027 for emperor. Kronk even commented on it, that they need to label the levers. Although, well, but no, because like I said again, like, if the levers change every single day or every week, then how is he to know which lever? How is he to know? If the results may vary, how do you know? It could one day be that lever. And how would he know? You gotta use your brain. This is so fun. They have to... Excuse the sirens. They really have to make a Yzma's Secret Lab ride at Disney, because this would be so popular. I don't know why they haven't done this, because this would be, like, the actual best. And then you, like, go into the secret lab. Oh my gosh, you could literally, like, this would be so cool. You could, like, go into the ride where it's just, like, an office, right? Like, her office in the movie or her office in the school, or, like, however you want to do it. Start with literally having, like, you know, pull the lever. And then instead of, like, dropping into the ride, the lever, like, opens up, and then however many people can fit into the ride at once, let's say, like, it's a cart of, like, maybe, like, 6 people, or whatever it is, like, they will, like, the lever, and then you'll go into the door, and you can even have the little animated sequence, like, above the thing where it's, like, wrong lever, or whatever, or, like, have it be, like, a variation of something, like, oh, wrong lever, and then, like, I don't know, there's, like a water spout that, like, spritzes at you or something, I don't know, but, like, you can have a wrong lever, but then the door, like, opens, and then you get on the ride, and then you go through the ride. Oh my god, Disney, you should hire me. I have so many fun ideas. But that would be so cool, no? Like, yeah, they really need to make an Emperor's New Groove ride, because that would be so popular and so fun. Okay, Kronk and Yzma are always going to be the highlight of any Emperor's New whatever property because absurd, but like such a good duo, so fun, playing off of each other. The dialogue is just absurd, but in like the best way. So, Kronk and Yzma, we love to see them. They need their own spin-off. We should have just a Kronk and Yzma spin-off. It shouldn't be a Kuzco show. It should be a Kronk and Yzma show, and Kuzco can be there if he needs to be. But it should be Kronk and Yzma. He's so correct. He says, Yzma, you know I'm probably going to win this race. There's no need to go for all this trouble. He's correct. His face is being drawn as if he's being arrogant or cocky about it. He certainly is not being arrogant or cocky about it. He's just being realistic. Like, he is a professional athlete without being a professional athlete. So realistically, they don't need to do anything. They could just have Kronk win the race and have it not be that serious. Her meddling makes it so that she loses. Her own intervention, her own actions cause her downfall. How very thought-provoking. How very introspective. We press on. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's very meta. And then what would I do for the rest of the show? The episode, whatever. Because I guess, yeah, if he loses in episode 1, then... But then she would get to go and be Empress. She would overthrow the government. And then she would just take over. Even though she could do that now. She could do that now. She's choosing not to. I don't know. Suspicious. It's a contrived plot. However, very entertaining. These two, best characters. Yes, he did. But then she would just win. Like, she doesn't really need to do anything. Work smarter, not harder. Why are you gonna be active about it if it's all just like passively working out for you? That's okay. Let it work. Let it flow. Be the river. Be the stream. Flow. I forgot about this segment. It's basically, it must be like after the, like halfway point after like commercials where he like recaps the episode. I feel like that's redundant and unnecessary. Why are you recapping an episode during the episode? It's just wasting time that you could be having with other Yzma and Kronk shenanigans. Like, priorities, people. Come on now. Oh, no, it's his imaginings of what's he wants to happen next? I don't know. Oh. For some reason, was this supposed to be like saving money on animation or something? Why is Kuzco recapping a section of the episode that he wasn't there for, like, rather than just having it? This feels also unnecessary and redundant, even though it's his imaginings of what has occurred after. So this is basically saying that, like, after Yzma left and Kronk was tasked with getting the turtle potion to make Kuzco slow, he, like, accidentally went and did other things. And so Kuzco's, like, recapping Kronk doing the, like, getting the potion, but in doodle form. Which feels unnecessary because you could skip this and then just have the result of Kronk messing up instead of... Because the structure is very also weird. I mean, they do drop us halfway through the movie in the movie, but to drop us at the end, or almost at the end of the episode, is fine, but then you don't have to do this where you're showing us Kronk making the mistake of grabbing the rabbit potion instead of the turtle potion, because we already know that happens. So we don't need this. We can just skip to the result of Kronk making the mistake and having it be a fully, like, I don't know, developed component of the episode where they're having conversations, where we're having, like, fully animated the characters, where we're seeing the things unfold. Like, I don't know, this feels like a weird, pointless addition to this show, where they're just like, I don't know. Again, it feels like very contributing to demonstrate Kuzco's character and how he is the narrator and he's the main character and he's supposed to be the like selfish like attention seeker, which is fine. Like, yes, that's great. But I feel because this is supposed to be longevity, there's 2 seasons of the show, you can't hinge your entire basis of entertainment on the least entertaining character in the show. I don't know. That might be unhinged to say, but I feel like I would rather see this actually happen or just see the results of this happening. So, like, why are we doing this? I don't know. It feels redundant and unnecessary, and also it's just to add more Kuzco. We don't need more Kuzco. Opposing to what Kuzco believes, we don't actually need more Kuzco. Yeah, and like he's trying to produce a narrative to entertain himself. Like it's self-indulgent for the character and probably cheaper for the animators. So I guess there's some like benefit to it in terms of the financial component and like the character component, but it still feels unnecessary and I'm bored. I don't care. Like, I want real Kronk and real Yzma or nothing at all. Like, it feels like there's no point. You know what else actually doesn't make any sense and is such a big plot hole too? Is even if Kuzco doesn't know that Yzma is still around, even if he does not know this, he still knows that Kronk worked with her. And so, like, if Kronk is behaving suspiciously, which he is very much behaving suspiciously, why would he consume anything that Kronk had delivered to him? And especially when there's, like, the magical poof. Like, why would you be trusting this individual? Like, you can say, oh yeah, Kronk was redeemed, he had his whole separate, like, side quest thing with, like, the lady who was doing the camping in the second movie, like, whatever, like, there's, like, Kronk was never the problem, right? That's fine. But you would still be, like, oh, suspicious, like, I don't know, Kronk, maybe I'm not gonna participate in this magical, poofy, exploding pink sauce. I don't know. Questionable, but alas, Kuzco's not very smart. I think that this is the whole point of the show, is that Kuzco's not very smart and he's in danger of failing out of school and then not being able to be emperor. So I guess checks out. So this is why it's a little bit confusing, because is it meta in the sense that he knows that Yzma is still around? Because the narrator is saying, I am going to fail and then Yzma will be empress. But does Kuzco actually know that Yzma is still around, like, in the present rabbit timeline, not the, like, omnipotent narrator timeline? Like, does he know? Because then, certainly even extra, I would be like, you know what, Kronk, like, you're not the problem, but, like, I can't even be, like, around you at all, because if you're still associated with the person who, like, tried to kill me, then, like, we can't be cool. I feel like that would be a reasonable thing to do. So, does he know? Does he know that Yzma is still around? Like, I don't know. I have so many questions about, the setup and the canon and the timeline. I don't know. It's meta, but I don't know. I think we just have to go along for the whole point is to be on the ride. We're on the secret lab ride and we just gotta go with it, and it's gonna just take us where we gotta take us. We're on the wrong lever probably, and we just have to go. So we just enjoy. But yeah, it's a little bit messy in terms of, like, how it's been constructed, I feel. But also, like, as we're going, like, things have kind of, like, made sense a little bit, but it also still doesn't really make a lot of sense. Anyways, I also don't remember how, like, the show concludes as a whole, so yeah. Maybe it would be interesting to watch the first episode and then watch the last episode and just, like, nothing in the middle and see how we end up, where we go from here. 'Cause it's quite silly. You'd think also that he would, like, be disqualified for being a rabbit, because one could maybe explore the possibility, the teachers could perchance explore the possibility that he cheated, right? Like that he turned himself into a rabbit so that he would be able to complete the race and win, because obviously this is kind of like a performance enhancer. A little bit. He didn't intend to take it, but it's what it ended up being. And he gets turned into different things throughout the show. So, do they ever question, like, hey, are you using witchcraft for your own benefit? Did you do this? Because it seems to be working out for you. So, what's going on here? Like, you'd think that they would investigate, because also I don't think that this world is inherently magic. I think that Yzma is an isolated magical entity that can make these potions and then they work and it's fine. But, like, magic is not part of everyday life for everyone. So, wouldn't this be, like, completely terrifying for these students to be like, oh my gosh, like, how did our classmate become a talking rabbit? Like, how did this occur? And then there would be, like, a huge, like, investigation, because this is way more public. Like, with the Emperor's New Groove, when he turned into a llama, he was pronounced dead. And yes, he, like, came back and it was a whole thing, but it wasn't this public. Like, this is so public that he's a rabbit. So, how does the magic work in this world where, like, it's only one person who can do magic, but, like, everybody just accepts that magic is possible, which is fine, but then wouldn't they automatically know who is doing the magic if only one person can do the magic? And then wouldn't they just arrest her? Wouldn't they just be like, oh, you're really evil, you're trying to mess up our world, we prefer this incompetent man, rather than this villainous woman. You know what? They're both bad, so what are you gonna do? So, but, like, wouldn't they know that it was her and then act accordingly? Because it just, this is what I'm saying. How is she allowed to continue, and how is he allowed to continue? Because either somebody is doing these things to him, and obviously, like, he should have to redo the things by himself without a performance-enhancing substance, because that's what this ended up being. Or he's doing it to himself and then he should be disqualified. Like, this is what I would be thinking as the administrator, is what happened here, and then I would be like, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to redo it as yourself because you're not a rabbit inherently. Feels very questionable. I don't know. This is just, like, you would know, they would know that it was Yzma, and if they knew that it was Yzma, then they should, like, do something about it. Or if they think that it's Kuko. But also, I just think that this is wild that they're all just, like, accepting magic, even though magic is not a part of this world, sans one person. So, it's kind of crazy. Because that would be, like, in our world, one random person is able to do magic, right? One person in all of reality can create potions that turn people into various creatures. I feel like everybody else in the world, or even in that, like, small place or country, would still be a little bit like, this is questionable, right? Obviously you see the result of it, you know that it's real, but you'd kind of be like, I don't know about this. This is a bit freaky. This is a bit, like, unfortunate, especially because this person is trying to utilize her powers for evil. Maybe we should contain these powers, because she is doing things to be malicious. So, I don't know. Feels suspicious. Feels questionable how they're conducting their world. It feels weird. Yeah, obviously villainous. Obviously first-degree murder. Obviously trying to cause harm intentionally. So maybe we just put her in jail. I don't know, maybe we utilize a justice system of some variety and get rid of Yzma the usurper to jail. They're all just accepting that he's a bunny. Like, that's insane. He either cheated or he was, like, attacked. So, I don't know. I feel like you would express more concern than this. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, good job, Cusco. I just didn't think you'd be a rabbit when you won this race. But, like, good job. Like, you'd be like, hey, this feels suspiciously familiar. You're a bunny. What's going on? And then you would, like, do some investigating and then utilize your justice system. Like, it feels like everybody's too relaxed. There's not enough urgency. Okay, this gets like 2 extra bonus points because I love when cartoons did bloopers. This is such a perfect, like, rolling credits. Instead of, like, an outro theme, they have bloopers. I am obsessed with that because, like, the Toy Story bloopers at the end, all the Barbie movie bloopers at the end, this is iconic and I'm obsessed with it. So, yeah, very pleased. Absolutely hilarious. So pleased that they had bloopers. Oh, okay, I really do like that meta component of this show. That's very funny. Well, that was The Emperor's New School, episode 1, Rabbit Face. You know, it was very 50-50 for me. I thought that some of it was, like, so fun, so, like, entertaining. It gave me a chuckle. And some of it was just kind of dumb. So, I feel like it's got to be, like, a C tier. Like, I feel like it's got to be, like, a 3 stars. It's got to be right in the middle. Because some of it's very funny and, like, meta and, like, breaking the fourth wall and being, like, self-aware and all of the good stuff that is a part of The Emperor's New Groove. Like, it was really fun. And I love that. But then also some of it is really, like, nonsensical. It also feels very, like, if this is supposed to be post The Emperor's New Groove, then you'd think that Cusco would have a little bit less, like, selfishness, that there would be a little bit more growth and development to his character. Obviously, like, they need some growth and development during the show, but, you know, it just, I don't like him very much as a main character. I think he's not my favorite. But the supporting characters, really fun. Love Kronk and Yzma, so fun. I don't think that I would rewatch this show again, though. Maybe I'll watch the last episode and do, like, here's the first episode, here's the last episode kind of a deal. But, like, as a general thing, it wasn't really my taste. And it just didn't quite hold up for me this go around. So yeah, I think I'll give it a 3. I think it's not the worst. There's certainly, like, fantastic parts of it, but I think it's the same sort of thing as the movie. Like, Cusco as a character is not a very strong main character. I think that it's always been, like, Kronk and Yzma that are the glue and that are the most entertaining and the most interesting to follow. But yeah, it was mostly enjoyable. Yeah, I would say very 50-50. So that's why 3 stars. But yeah, that was Emperor's New Groove, episode 1, Rabbit Face. If you enjoyed this episode, consider giving a like and subscribing to continue joining us on all of our adventures. But with that, thank you all so much for watching. Everything with love, and we'll see you next time in the Treasure Trove. Bye.